eat chicken now. The creator did a great job. I felt right at home here. I also have a big soft spot, not only on the back of my head still, but also for maps with little quests to do. You would also need to find a way to cook food, but it looks like that's covered here with this restaurant. Really covered. You've got 2 stoves right here, and then 8 more in the Wes Anderson room. I think alien radio sucks. What the hell? Did I just collect that gnome? I can't think of why you'd want to do something like that, except for if you're stuffing them into a bag. We should all be a little more like this guy. Don't let him get to you. Don't let him in your kitchen. Orangey, no sugar. Yeah, I'd drink that. I'd drink the shit out of that. Patients at this asylum had a particularly strong psychic link to the Great Green One. That might explain both the asylum's closure as well as the tunnel connecting the Smile Room to the altar. At least there's this burning corpse to cheer me up. Anyone have any marshmallows? It looks like the Pumpkin King has been getting the appropriate number of offerings this year. That means he's happy, I think. Gotcha, you little shit. There's blood on the cross, blood all over the altar. Whoever runs this place must have lost their head. Oh. I actually think most hospitals have something sinister going on, but that's a topic for another day. Could play a good game of volleyball in here if you set up the net. I wonder what his name is. He looks like a Robert. Maybe if we sacrifice a goat on a pentagram in here or something, he'll come to life and do everything I say. This shaft is huge. Michael Cox had lacerations all over his body and had his head and upper spinal cord removed. Jesus, tap dancing Christ. So I'll just leave this baby in the church while I look around. No, wait. The ghost of Dr. Phil would be the safer option in this scenario. Ha, bet you didn't expect me to say the word tits there. I'm just trying to keep you on your toes. I found Alma's body in the underbrush here. She's holding a flower. Did Dr. Phil kill her? Why? Also, is this picture on the table a selfie? How vain do you have to be to not only print out a selfie of yours, but to frame it and put it up for display in your own home? That's some Wandissimo Magnifico type shit right there. At least, that's my own take on it. I'm sure a lot of players just play RP because it's funny to sell crack to 12-year-olds. Another fucking gnome? That's my prize for finding everything? This is the type of thing you see tattooed on the back of a pair of calves standing in the checkout line at your local Walmart. That's because I've spent more of my life in the Source engine than anyone probably should. A lot of you have too, but it's a good escape, you know? The reality is that the world fails us sometimes, so you should have your own to immerse yourself in when that happens. And the cars are driving on the left side of the road, so I think it's somewhere in England. I don't know where, though. I'm not familiar with English cities besides London and Bristol. Why should I be? What have the English done for me besides taxation without representation in the War of 1812? And Taskmaster, and Warhammer 40k, and Hugh Laurie, and Donkey Kong Country, and Old Greg. Okay, I guess they're not that bad. Whoa, Jupiter's windy this time of year. I'm not crazy about the carpeted floors, but the view is nice, the atmosphere is very chill, and the sentient triangle immersed in biofluid is doing some heavy lifting for the vibes. Actually, I think that's just a picture of someone holding a catfish or something in their hand. I was actually so ecstatic to have made progress that I allowed myself a few gleeful hops. I never do that. What I found is that this drawer in the apartment from earlier is locked. If these nebulous clouds were volumetric, or if it was just animated, I could stare at this sky for minutes. There may be no more Taco Bell or Statue of Liberty, but there's also no more poverty and no more war. So I'd call it even. Pretty boring. Like the real moon, except this one isn't made out of cheese. That's okay. That's why we call it science fiction. And that's not even mentioning the threats posed by the countless predators, vortexes, the eons-old dead god at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. This is sort of nice. A bit creepy, but nice. I have an uncle like that. I've always dreamed of dapping up a Vortigaunt with their chest arm. They're so chill. They are straight vibing here, making a muck soup, conversing with the winds and whatnot. Man, where are we going? Yeah, it doesn't smack like water. Where am I? This must be the engine. I'm gonna flex my college education here and say that this probably needs to be on. Good morning, princess. Ew, it looks like my first apartment in here. What if I want to join a jazz band one day? What am I going to tell them? Sorry guys, I gave my soul to an ancient Lovecraftian altar on the seafloor in 2025, no can do. I bet you could install Ark Survival Evolved like twice with all this storage. And if you're from Baltimore, you'd better watch out, because right next door, Big Bill Hell's used car dealership is booming with business. Man, I bet RP drug dealers made bank back here. And hey, if food is the only drug you need, you can stock up on it at Cub Foods. Yeah, they have quite a selection. This room makes me anxious. Welcome back to Where Are We Now? The only digital exploration series that you're going to watch today to feature a discussion of the human digestive system. Whoa. Okay. Okay then, let's go over there. It's glowing. Beckoning me. Oh, hell yeah. What's going on in here? You guys pondering the orb? Oops. Sorry. Good bowel movement, everyone. I'd like to first thank my mom and also Vegetables for getting things moving up there. If you don't think I know what you're thinking right now, think again. I'm not looking up. I try to go back upstairs, but the door is locked. I'm trapped down here. So I guess I'll make the most of it and see if there's any candy through this door. Damn, not even a lurch? We must be dealing with a real throat goat here. This one's pensive. This one's ashy. Better get some lotion. This one has 3 legs. So many stories to these buildings. Holy shit. Was that a pun? That one just came out of me. I wasn't even trying. I'm sorry. In defiance of the commodification of Christmas by the capitalist machine, if you've been playing Garry's Mod for as long as I have, then this most likely looks very familiar to you. I never saw myself sitting alone in a tiny padded room doing tech deck tricks with a fruit. Hey, that's a nice clean colon. Not a hemorrhoid in sight. Congratulations. More melons. Look at them. Plotting. Discussing. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that the melons are running the show here. If the world was an idea. I'm amused by the squishy portal. There's a lot of other cool stuff around in this gallery, too. Like the... I laugh every time I look at it, man. Like the painting of Ivan the Terrible holding his dying son Ivan, only the editing implies that he fucking cracked him in the skull while playing around in his VR headset. God, I envy historians of the future. Their jobs are going to be so much fun. Wet beef, made with Dasani. I have so many questions about wet beef. Now, I don't have the game mode installed or anything, but in the spirit of space build, I'm going to pay tribute to the servers of old and build my own spaceship. I haven't done this in a long time, so bear with me here. I don't have wire mod or anything else fancy installed either, so I'm going to go with the time-honored classic combo of hoverballs and thrusters. Eat chicken now.